Hi everyone, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today I'm making a park type lot because we did get that toddler stuff pack a few weeks ago by the time this video is going up, and I just really want to make something putting that to use. And I'm really excited to share this build because it is a bit different than other builds I've done, because usually my builds are pretty grounded in realism, and I guess this build isn't really that unrealistic. I mean, I could see something like this actually existing, but it's definitely more whimsical and colorful than what I would typically build, because with this, I didn't really want to build just a regular kind of park or a daycare or something like that. I just really wanted to make something where I could exercise my creativity and try to do something that was different than what I've done before. So what I made is this lot that just has these different kinds of areas, and it's just kind of this really large lot where kids can go and play. There's just a whole bunch of different things for them to do, and there's also some things that adults can do here as well while their children are off playing, because as you may have seen from the thumbnail, this place has some different kinds of areas to it. So for example, there's this house that I'm building right now that's in the middle of the lot that's supposed to be kind of like this doll house. It's just this very colorful Victorian house, and the coloring of it was kind of inspired by the Up house, so it just has different primary colors all over it. And then on one side it's a pirate play area, and then on the other side is a space play area because we do have those two different jungle gyms. So I just thought it'd be really cool to make these different themed areas to go along with it. So I think shortly I'll start on building those, but I just made them kind of like playgrounds you would see, where you have an area that you have to go up a ladder to get to, and then just has different little areas off of it with different things inside of it that you could do. So there's just all these little rooms in those different play areas with different activities inside of them, and I try to keep it themed to the style of that area, and it's just so much fun to make this lot. And there's some other stuff that your Sims can do here, like in the back of the lot there's going to be a little movie theater area, and then there's also a pavilion with some picnic tables in it where they can go and eat. And I thought of that as being kind of like an area where your Sims could have birthday parties at, so this would also be a cool lot to go to for kids' birthday parties. Like if you have a toddler aging up into a child, I mean, if you have a child aging up into a teen, then this probably isn't the best spot for a party, but yeah, for toddler and child birthdays, I feel like this would be a really good spot to hold birthday parties at, and you can also hold play dates here as well. Yeah, because in the last speed build I did, I was talking about how I wasn't sure if I was going to build a park type lot or if I was going to make something like a Chuck E. Cheese type restaurant. And I decided to just go with the park type lot because it was brought to my attention that toddlers and restaurants don't really work that well together. Because I don't think you can actually order food for toddlers. Like, you just kind of have to have a high chair there, and then you just give them food from that, so they're not really a part of the dinner party. So yeah, I just kind of realized that maybe that wasn't, although I guess if it was a Chuck E. Cheese type place, you'd have playground equipment that they can go ahead and use, but still, yeah, I just figured that maybe wasn't the best thing to do. Plus, someone else also mentioned that you can only have play dates at your home lot or a park, so for that reason I figured it was better to just go ahead and make a park where you could actually have play dates, although I guess you could make a restaurant and then set it as a park, but then it wouldn't actually function like a restaurant. So yeah, for those reasons, I just figured it was easier just go ahead and make a park, and plus that way I could make something that was a little bit more creative, although I mean, I guess there would have been creativity involved with trying to recreate a Chuck E. Cheese type restaurant, but I don't think I would have been able to really make something quite like this, just because we're kind of limited as far as what items we have, because Chuck E. Cheese's tends to have different kinds of tunnels and ball pits and stuff like that, and then also different kinds of arcade machines, whereas we only have the one tunnel and ball pit item, and then we only have the one arcade machine. So basically, I would have just been using the same items over and over again. So yeah, this was something I was looking forward to building a little bit more. But yeah, right now I'm getting in those different play areas, so I'm just kind of making the different little buildings for them. And you can see I have the jungle gym set up there right at the front of it. The pirate area is probably my favorite. I was trying to go for this old port town kind of a look, so we just got these little Tudor buildings, and then for the space side of it, I was trying to go for just this futuristic space station kind of a look, I guess. I'm not as sure what I was trying to do with that side. I was just trying to do something that looked futuristic, but I'm not really that good with futuristic style builds, so that was a bit harder for me to come up with, so I'm not quite as happy with how this side of it turned out, but I think it ended up coming out fine. in the end, especially once I get all the landscaping and everything in. So we're just finishing that up and kind of planning where all the staircase is going down to the play area and everything is going to be. So yeah, surely I think I'm going to start on the colors and everything like that. Oh, I also wanted to stick a microscope in there, or a telescope, or no, that's a telescope. Yeah, because I thought that would kind of go with the whole space theme pretty well. So I haven't tested it yet at this point, but I'm pretty sure you can use it where I stuck it, because I realized that the door was on that side, so I had to face it in to make it so they could actually use it. So if they're using it, they're kind of just like looking at the other kids who are just playing right there. Would prefer to face the other way, but then I was worried it wouldn't be functional, so figured it was better to just point it the way that would actually make it functional. So now we're moving on to the picking out the colors and everything. So like I said, it was just up inspired, so just different kinds of colors. There was a bit I scrapped where I put siding on it, but the siding just looked kind of weird because it was all pastel and that wasn't quite the color scheme that I wanted. So I went with some colors that were a little bit bolder, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Oh, and something else you can see from here is that the house in the center actually connects to the different play areas on the side. So yeah, there's just that bridge that goes between that to those, and then the path going to the back of the lot goes right under that. So that ends up looking pretty good once everything is actually done, just because I thought it'd be really fun if it was all just connected together. And as far as where I made this, I built it on the lot that used to be the park in Willow Creek, just because I knew I need a lot of space to do what I wanted to, and it's not really a whole lot of 50 by 50 lots. So, I mean, if you don't want to replace the park in Willow Creek, you could also place it where Oakenstead is, or there's also some 50 by 50 lots in Oasis Springs, although I don't think this would really look that good over in that world. And I think there might be a 50 by 50 lot in Windenburg. I know there's some 64 by 64 lots over there, and this might not look so good if you put on a 64 by 64 lot. Or it might be fine, I don't know, because there's some fences bordering the edges of it, so it might just not take up the whole lot and just look fine otherwise, or yeah, I don't know. This lot in the Oakenstead one might be the only good place to put it, unless Mashuno Meadows might be 50 by 50. I'm not sure. I can't remember if that was 50 by 50 or 64 by 64, but that might be another place that you could potentially place this down. And because of the size of the lot, I was actually worried I was going to end up with a lot of footage to the point where I'd have to make this a 2-part speed build, which I really didn't want to do because I really didn't want to have a 2-part speed build for just a park, but fortunately, once I edited everything down, I got it to about 30 minutes, which is pretty good. I did edit a few things out, but it was mainly just tedious things like placing plants. Yeah, just because I really wanted to get all the footage to where it was 30 minutes. So, yep, I think it turned out fine. So right now we're just getting the wall paint on the little pirate area, and that's starting to take shape. And yeah, I just really like how this area of it looks. Like, if I was a kid, this is definitely the part of the park that I would go to. And I just stuck that little sail thing between those 3 buildings up there. I thought that'd be a nice way to kind of take up the space between them. And as I was building this, I kept seeing that sail, and I kept thinking, like, in my mind that it was like because if you've ever built in The Sims 3 using the constrained floor elevation false cheat, you may remember that sometimes when you mess around with the different levels of the flooring, you would end up with, it was kind of like glitch flooring, where if you were looking from the top of the build, you wouldn't see it. But then if you tilted your camera down, you would see the underneath of this, like, tilted floor tile that was, like, stretched or something like that. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but if you ever use the constrained floor elevation false cheat a lot, you might know what I'm talking about. So when I first saw the sails, like, when I put them in, I kept forgetting that they were there, and I kept thinking that I had that flooring glitch. And then I was like, wait a minute, no, this is The Sims 4. That isn't in this game. So yeah, that was fun. But this place was kind of inspired by this place I went to a lot when I was younger. I don't really remember exactly what it was called, but I just remember it had all these different areas within it that you could go to and do all these different things, although it wasn't outdoors like this. It was more of an indoor place, but I remember it had a fake ambulance with fake medical equipment in it, so you could pretend to be a doctor and that kind of a thing. And there was like a fake farming area where they had model tractors or something like that. I don't really remember much about that part of it. And then I think there was another area that was like this fake grocery store with all this plastic produce and stuff like that. You would pick up these little grocery lists and pretend to shop, and I think they had a staff member who would pretend to check you out. And it's weird how when you're a kid you find stuff like that fun, but then when you're an adult you just hate doing those adult type things. Although even when I was younger I hated going to the grocery store with my mom, but it was fun to pretend to be grocery shopping for fake plastic produce. There's other stuff in there, like I remember there being a sand area and I don't know what else. I just have very vague memories of this place, which is actually pretty different from this place, but it was still just the idea of having this place with different themed areas and a bunch of different activities to do is just really what I was going for with this. So at this point I'm moving on to, we've already got the paths in the front of the lot figured out, so now I'm just moving on to the details and the landscaping and all of that. So I really just wanted to put these string lights that we got with the stuff pack to use, and then we've got some of those trellises from Get Together to go between those, which I thought looked really cool. And I also really like those string lights because the ones we got with City Living were kind of tall, so they're harder to use in some spots, but it is nice that these are shorter. And there were a bunch of other really cute items that came with toddler stuff. Yeah, because I didn't really get to do a review of it, so I guess I'll just kind of talk about my thoughts on the items here. But yeah, I mean, it isn't my favorite stuff pack either, but I mean, it's decent. I mean, it's a stuff pack though, so it's not really something that I expected to blow me away, but I mean, it's alright. It is what it is. It's got some nice items in it, some other items that I'm not as happy with, like the ball pit, which I know was kind of an item that got a lot of crap from different people, which I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's the idea of having a ball pit in the game is nice, but it just looks like it's rushed. They could have done it better. I know people probably heard a bunch of people rant about the ball pit already, but I mean, I agree with those who just feel like it looks kind of cheaply made because when you look at it from this distance, it looks fine, but then when you look at it up close, it just looks like this grainy image of ball pits that they just stuck over it, and they stuck this wavy motion to it just to make it look like it's moving, but it just doesn't look like the right movement for a ball pit. Like, I haven't been in a ball pit for a while, so I'm a little rusty on my ball pit physics, but I don't think ball pits really wave like that. I don't know, it's just weird how you have this cheap, like, bad quality image of ball pit, of, you know, balls, and then you have these like random little 3D balls floating above it, and I know they said they did it for performance reasons, but I don't know, I feel like maybe there might have been some way it could have been done a little bit better, but I don't know, it just disappointed me a little bit that it seemed like that item was a bit rushed and just, I don't know, I just feel like the item should be better quality if it's something that we're paying for, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of just how I feel about it, but I mean, the tunnels are nice and the slide is nice, like those items look pretty neat. And I do like the imaginary images that pop up when toddlers play on it. Like, that's really cute. I do like that. I haven't looked at the clothes myself. Like, I've watched some videos of the clothes, but at this point I haven't gone in and looked at them up close. But what I have seen is pretty cute. But the announcement of Cats and Dogs definitely overshadowed the release of the stuff pack for me because I was pretty excited about the stuff pack coming out, but then they announced Cats and Dogs, and then I just kind of forgot about it because an expansion pack is way more exciting than a stuff pack coming out, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Cats and Dogs getting here and learning more about it and all of that, although I have to admit a part of me was a little bit disappointed when I saw that the title was just Cats and Dogs because in Sims 2 and 3 we had pets, so it was just a little bit saddening seeing that, you know, seeing it go from that to just Cats and Dogs, although maybe that doesn't necessarily mean that Cats and Dogs are it that's going to come with it. Maybe they just did that so they wouldn't have 3 Sims games in a row with the title of Pets, although, I mean, I guess if that was it, they could have come up with something a little more creative. But I think I did see that you could actually make raccoons and foxes and create a pet. So I think right there, you know, those are some other kinds of animals that you can make, although I'm not sure if they're just cats and dogs that look a little different, or if they're just you know, like you have an option for cat, dog, or then raccoon and fox. I don't know how it's gonna work exactly, but I mean, it is good seeing that you can at least in some way make something else, and who knows, maybe they'll still have small pets. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm trying to not get too disappointed about that until we learn more about the expansion pack. And oh yeah, we can also be vets now, which is pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to trying that career out. And I mean, I guess the route they're going is that they're going to be a little bit more in depth with cats and dogs than they were in previous games, which is cool. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, it's kind of disappointing not seeing horses there, but I mean, maybe they'll add them in the future, although I'm not sure how useful they'd be in The Sims 4, and it'd be kind of disappointed if they added them in a different pack later on when in The Sims 3 we got cats, dogs, and horses all in one, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see, because I don't want to just get all pissed off about things when we don't really know a whole lot at this point. But the new Create a Pet tool does look awesome. It looks like you can actually paint the markings on your pets rather than just picking from pre-made ones, which will be really handy for trying to recreate your pets more exactly. Because in the past, when I would try to recreate my pets, it was always hard because I could never get the exact same markings. But I'm so happy that it looks like now we can. So when that comes out, I'll definitely be doing a Create a Pet video of my cats. I mean, I know everyone else is probably going to be doing Create a Pet videos, but I mean, what pet owner doesn't love an excuse to just talk about their pets? So that's definitely a thing I'm going to be doing. I'm just looking forward to trying to recreate my cats with that. And what else have we seen that looks cool? We do have a create a style tool or a color wheel for pets, which is neat. Kind of disappointing that we don't have that with the rest of cast, but I don't know. I mean, I guess at this point it's kind of hard to go back and do that, but I mean, that shows that something maybe they can implement more in the future. We'll see. We also got new roof tools. The roof tools, which is really exciting because one of the sim gurus shared an image on Twitter of what looks like octagonal roofs and hexagonal roofs and I think pentagonal roofs, and then there's also some circular roofs and just different things you can do with the roofs, like how now you can pull on the eaves of the roof and make them come out, and then apparently with this you can pull on the side of the roof and then pull them out, like pull just the eaves of it further out, so you can pull it out without having the wall on it. If that makes any sense, hopefully that makes sense. Which is neat because you can create decks that are covered without having the wall going across it, which always kind of bugged me a little bit, so I'm glad we're going to be able to do that now. And I'm thinking that's something that might actually come in a patch rather than just an expansion pack only feature, because usually with building features like that, they tend to put them in patches. Like basements, I think, came in a patch before Get to Work came out. So I have a feeling that might be something that doesn't just come with the expansion pack, hopefully. I feel like that should definitely be a base game update. But something kind of disappointing I did find out is that the week Cats and Dogs comes out, I'm going to be away for work, because I've been talking recently in videos how I'm traveling for work, and I'm going to be traveling quite a bit between now and the end of the year. And unfortunately, the release date lines up with one of those weeks where I'm gone, but it's not that big of a deal because I think it comes out on a Friday, and I'm going to be getting back the next day. And then I will have probably worked over 40 hours the week I'm gone, so I could probably take off some days the following week, maybe use some vacation days since I have a bunch I haven't used yet. So while I might not be able to make videos on release day when, everyone's all hyped up about it, I might have a bunch of time the following week to make videos on it. So I think it'll be fine. I mean, that's better than it releasing on a Tuesday while I'm gone and, not being able to get the pack for almost a week after it comes out. So yeah, I didn't really want to ask to have the schedule rearranged just because of that, because I feel like a game I want to play is coming out isn't a good excuse to ask my coworkers to rearrange the travel schedule and inconvenience people just because they've already put out the whole schedule of when people are going to be traveling through the end of the year, and I just don't feel like that's a good enough reason to mess with that. But I'm actually traveling this week while this is going up, so this is just a video that I'm pre-recording before going away that I have scheduled up to go up. I don't know what day, what day of the week this is going up at this point, but yeah, so this time I'm gone for over a week, which is exciting. So I'm working 7 days in a row, possibly 12-hour shifts, so that's fun. But yeah, while the previous weeks I've been traveling, I've been working overnight. This week I'm actually working during the day. So right now as I'm recording this, I'm currently trying to switch from working overnight to working day. And it's not going well because I keep staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning, but yeah, I've got a few days to fix it. I might just have to be really tired of my first shift, and then after that I'll be fine and I'll be set on a new sleep schedule, and then I get like a weekend between when I come back before I have to go away and then work overnight again, so I get like 2 or 3 days to switch back to working overnights. So yeah, that's gonna be fun, but I don't really want to ramble about my sleep schedule a whole bunch in the spiel build like I did the last one. So currently in the build, I'm working on the little picnic pagoda area, and at first I had that checkered pattern on the tables, but I thought it'd be good to just go with something a little more fun since this is supposed to be a kid-friendly lot and all of that. So we've got that summery fruit top to the table, which I think looks pretty nice, and right now we're just working on the bathrooms, nothing too fancy about it. I was a little bit less detailed with the furnishing of this build than I usually am, but that's because with this build I was focusing a lot more on the landscaping and the outside of the build than the furnishing. So you'll see that a bit more as we move on to furnishing the house, which I think we will be doing shortly. Yeah, I think this bathroom was the last bit of the area on the outside, so right now I'm just getting all the furnishing on the decks around this house, and I was just trying to keep everything with just bright colors, which it's just a lot of fun to use a bit different of a color scheme than I usually would, because usually I'm not this colorful with my builds, so we just got a whole bunch of seating area on the outside. That's really about it. I just kind of use the same furniture over and over again. Like, we've got that love seat. I was thinking about putting some flowers there, but yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about sticking wall decals and stuff all over the outside of the buildings, but I decided not to, just because when you look at this lot from far away, it's just, there's a lot going on, so I felt like I didn't really need to just tack on a bunch of stickers and stuff to the outside of the building. Add to that, I felt like it's a little bit better just to keep that a teensy bit simpler, although it's not really, there's just a lot going on the outside of the building as I was, so yeah, I just pretty quickly furnished these areas and just kept using the same pieces over and over again. So we're just about done with this lower part here, and shortly we'll be moving on to the inside. So this is just kind of, I don't know, it's just a house that has a bunch of different play areas in it. There's not really a whole lot to it. There is actually a little kitchen area in the back of it, because I thought it'd be handy to have that, and there's also some high chairs in there, so if you bring your toddlers along here with you, you can easily put them in a high chair and feed them, and there's also a little sleeping area in case the toddlers get tired, so you can just go ahead and have them take a nap up there and they'll be fine. So right now I'm just finishing up the layout of the place. We're just getting a nice open area for the stairs, which unfortunately meant that we had that stupid roof coming through glitch, but it wasn't too bad because you could only see the edges of the roof trim, so I managed to get it so there wasn't whole bits of roof popping through, so it's a little bit better. Yeah, so we're just getting the flooring in and everything, and then surely I'll start on actually furnishing. Yeah, so I thought it'd be really cute if I just used those cloud lights everywhere, so we just have the one sized up in there, and I just really wanted the whole color scheme of this place to just be very bright and child-friendly. But trying to finish this build was actually part of why I was been staying up a little bit too late, because, yeah, I finished this the night before I'm recording this now, and I thought I would be able to finish the whole build by, like, 2 a.m., but it ended up taking me past 3 a.m. to like 3:30, and then I decided I had to just edit all the footage afterwards. So yeah, it was my own stupid fault that I stayed up way too late. But I was just really, like, once I get into building, sometimes I have a really hard time stopping, so I just kept wanting to build until it was done, and then I just looked at the time and I was like, oh, whoops, it's like 3:30. So much for trying to get to bed earlier. But I got a couple more days to shift my sleep schedule back, so I think I'll be fine. I was actually gonna pull an all dayer or just like stay up all day to the point where I was super tired at a reasonable time, so I would just fall asleep at like 10 or 11 o'clock, but the day I was planning on doing that was the Sunday after I got back, and that Sunday happened to be the season finale of Game of Thrones, and that was at 9 o'clock, and I did not want to risk falling asleep during that because I just had to watch it as soon as it comes on, and as much as I enjoy Game of Thrones, if I'm tired enough, I would still fall asleep through it. I just really didn't want that to happen. But now that that's over, we have to wait like a year and a half for the next season, because I think the next season isn't going to be coming back till the end of this year, or no, the end of 2018? Yeah, it's like either the end of 2018 or the beginning of 2019, so that's over a year and a half, which is just such a long way to find out what happens after this season's finale, and then it's only going to be 6 episodes, so it's going to be a shorter season. Then this season was like 3 episodes shorter than usual, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but I get that they're kind of running out of story material to use. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with everything that was revealed in the last part. I'm going to try not to give spoilers away, like, just in case, anyone who watches the show isn't caught up yet, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that end, and the whole end scene just made me kind of sad, like, seeing the, I guess I'd say, weapon that the Night King has and seeing him put it to use. Just that whole plot line just bummed me out a little bit, and also bummed me out a little bit the week before. I don't know why, but it just made me sad. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what happens with that. But yeah, that's enough talking about Game of Thrones, I guess. So yeah, right now we're working on the little kitchen area that I was talking about. I just thought it'd be handy to have a place to go and grab a snack and feed the kids when they start to whine and all of that. So I did put a popcorn maker and an ice cream machine there. I thought that'd be perfect, so they can make some popcorn if they decide to go out to the movie area and watch a movie together, and then all along this wall where there's a window, we just have some high chairs, so you can go ahead and feed the kids there. And then I just stuck a little table in the kitchen as well, which I probably didn't need to do, but I don't know. There's already a ton of tables outside, so I don't think I really need to do that, but I just, for some reason, thought it'd be good to add an indoor table anyway, I guess, to just take up some of the space. But yeah, I actually like how this little kitchen turned out. Some of the, I don't know, the furnishing of this house isn't exactly my favorite furnishing that I've ever done, but I mean, I think it turned out pretty decent. It's just a different style than what I'm used to doing, but yeah, a bit more cutesy than I typically go for with my builds. So the lower floor is all done, so now we're moving to the upper floor, and this whole area just got furnished, like this whole house area just got furnished pretty quickly, so I think I spent, I don't know, probably like an hour furnishing it, which is pretty quick for something the size of a house, although I guess since this is a community lot, I was a bit less detailed than I was a bit less detailed with this than I usually am with my build, so that's why. And I stuck a ridiculous amount of flowers throughout this place, which is probably a little annoying, but I was trying to keep a common theme going throughout the place, so I thought it worked to just have those flowers throughout the place a bunch. So now we're moving on to the room that's supposed to be like a nap area for toddlers. There isn't really a whole lot to this room. We just got 4 beds in here, a little rug, some tables, and that's really about it. I couldn't think of anything else to put in this room after I put that stuff in, so I figured it was best just to leave it a little bit simpler at that. So here we're getting the rug in, and then some wall decorations, and that's just about it. So the only thing left to furnish in here is the kids' play area over here. So basically this room is just a room with a bunch of toys in it. That's pretty much about it. We've got that Lego thing. I didn't use that anywhere else, so I just really wanted to, or no, maybe I used it in one of the play areas off to this side. I can't remember. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't know. But anyway, it's in here. We've got yet another dollhouse. I have so many dollhouses throughout this place, and then yet more flower decorations, although I end up taking some of them away because I think I might have accidentally cut it out of the video, but there was a bit where I changed this room from the wood floor to it was like the giraffe print carpet that was purple, so I changed the flooring to that, and because of that I got rid of the flower rug, so that kind of takes down the amount of flowers a little bit, so I think that helps. Yeah, so we're actually moving on from that room to the pirate play area. So we've got some monkey bars in there. They're a little bit crammed in there, but I mean, they fit, so they should work. And then up here, we've got a Don't Wake the Llama game. I was going to stick the kid one in here, but it didn't quite fit in. But I'm pretty sure the kids can still use the regular one. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. I think the kid one was just so it fit in with kid players a little bit better. And then we've also got a foosball table. And then I also have some of those pirate pendants just so it has kind of a pirate clubhouse look to it. And yeah, the furnishing in these areas aren't really super detailed. I just kind of stuck a few items in there and left that as it. Just because this is a community lot, so I mean, I didn't really see a need to personalize it and cram each of the areas with a ton of stuff. But we've got a room in here with just some treasure chest treasure chest looking toy chests in it. And then we've got a Void Critter battle station in here with some seating around it so people can sit around and watch the battles that are going on. And then up here there's a little TV area, and I kind of saw the lower level as maybe being where younger kids hang out, and then the upper area is where the older kids hang out, because there's some like more of the toy type stuff on the lower level than there is the upper level, because I think up here in addition to that there's some of those activity stations, and then what else did I add? And I think we've got a castle dollhouse, and then we've got a karaoke area in here. So yeah, that is it for that area. So now we're gonna move over to the space side, and we've got yet another thing of monkey bars. And oh no, I was gonna stick the ball pit in there, but then I was like, nah, that doesn't really fit, and I don't think we need any more of those ball pits. So we got the monkey bars, and then I think I stuck another Don't Wake the Llama game, but it was the kid version this time. And then we've got some different stuff in this area, like the arcade machine and the science labs, and other than that, it was just the same kind of stuff that I had over on the other side. But we are almost at the end of the building parts, so as usual, if you want to download it, there'll be a link to do so in the description, and there'll also be stuff in there on how to find it in-game. And yeah, that's going to be all for me, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.